Hello guys, so this is going to be a prophetic word about your kingdom spouse. Actually watch this video because it's not going to be what you think about it. So I'm not going to be here to really itch your ears, but I know the demographic of the people who usually watch these type of videos is women. So I just want to give you a few tips and pointers to understand your husband and actually be a good wife. First things first, you've got to be a submissive woman and you've got to have meekness as part of your character. There are various verses in the book of Proverbs which tell us that it is better for a husband to hang in the corner of an attic than to be in the house with a nagging woman or a contentious wife. So if you find yourself being contentious all the time, very argumentative, have a very strong character, very domineering, that's something you got to settle down in it. Secondly, in 1 Peter chapter 3 verses 1, it says basically that women, wives, you must submit to your husbands, even if he's not obedient to the word, that he may be won by your conduct. Now, I want to preface this. It doesn't mean tolerate abuse and be in a dangerous situation where your life is in danger. Neither does it mean remain with your spouse if they're cheating on you. No. In fact, that one, you've got to work that out with God and see what God tells you to do in that situation. But let's say there's a saying today, a lot of women say, I won't submit to a man unless he's worth submitting to, which doesn't make sense because the condition that is given to husbands and wives in marriage in the Bible isn't actually dependent on how the other spouse acts. It's really dependent on you. And when you stand before God, God's going to judge you for your deeds. You can't actually blame anyone else for why you acted the way that you did. You know when Adam disobeyed Eve? Disobeyed Eve? Scratch that. Disobeyed God. Forgive me, Lord. When Adam disobeyed God in the Garden of Eden, God came and confronted him and he blamed Eve. Do you know what I'm saying? So just for those who are looking to get married, do not blame your spouse for you conducting yourself wrong in marriage, because you chose to be married, you chose to make that covenant, you chose to make those vows before God. Now, it's going to be commanded for your husband to treat you with understanding. So be understanding towards you, patient with you, because you are the weaker vessel according to the Bible. But at the same time, do not use this as an excuse to be impulsive, because many women will be like, but we're naturally more emotional. Yeah. Don't use it as an excuse to be impulsive, but be in the spirit and realize one of the fruits of the spirit is self-control. Even Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verses 9 says, do not be hasty in your spirit to be angry. And also in the marriage, provided it's not against the will of God, understand the direction that your spouse is going in, your man is going in, and submit to that. Submit to that direction. Submit to that leadership. Notice I said, as long as it's in line with the will of God. And also help him to get there. Because when God saw that Adam was alone, he said, it is not good for man to be alone. I will make him a helpmeet. So you've got to think, how can I be a helpful person as a wife to my spouse? Not what can I get out of this, but how can I be helpful to my spouse? Vice versa, just in case you're a man watching this, when you're going into marriage as well, you've got to think, bro, how can I love this woman and how can I build her into the woman that she's meant to be for God? So before you even go into marriage and stuff like that, I would advise understand your purpose in God, what he wants for your life, and, you know, be with someone who is in line with that purpose. But just in case you don't end up with someone who is under that purpose, but you're still married, still conduct yourself in the way that God wants you to conduct yourself. You might be in a situation where you might be married to an unbeliever, but still keep following the Lord, and they might be won by your conduct. There's so much I could say on this, but I'm going to just leave it here, innit?